Did you know that Nissan is trying to sell you their brand new cars? But they're broken. The transmission has a defect. This thing right here, remember this that I've been showing you, this thing? That's the transmission cooler. It's like no good. And it destroys the transmission in a way that you don't know. If you wanna buy one, if you own one, I'm sorry. But hey, watch this video and forget about Nissan, okay? Watch, I'm gonna show you how to fix this thing. And then, see this cooler? Okay, so something obviously went wrong, but okay. So you guys just find a professional and install one of these, okay? Great. Hey, it was supposed to be Strawberry Milkshake. Someone swapped it for engine oil. You know how difficult it is to remove that stuff? Like I wrote in. Okay, turn it on.
It's on.
Anyways, to clarify, the transmission is not the defect, it's the cooler inside of the radiator that leaks and makes the damage. Clarifying. Remember this guy? Some other cars, you know, have different shapes of stuff, but they basically do the same thing. These things are like flooded inside the radiator, you know, floating in the coolant so they can cool down. But what happens is that the transmission cooler inside the radiator of the Nissans, they're leaking. And so what happens, you have your coolant that's supposed to be in the radiator, you know, flying and driving around. This is supposed to be in the transmission and they're supposed to be not together. So somehow when the cooler leaks, you end up with this mixture of fluids. It looks pink. It looks very pretty when you see in fact, if you open your coolant reservoir of your Nissan, if you see pinkish, like creamy, you have the problem. As you can see, they don't mix. But I'm pretty sure, you know, driving around and making a left, making a right, pressures, getting it hot, all of this is gonna make these two guys mix. But in the process, they break the transmission. I'm gonna shoot this grill. I just got this guy, I have never used it. So I'm gonna see how it does. And we'll see you in a little bit. This little guy here, the transmission cooler, you cannot buy it. So if you wanted to own one, you have to buy a whole new radiator because, you know, it's inside of it. If you wanted to have it as a toy, then you would have to break the radiator. Well, I guess it's not going to come out. It's very difficult to break the radiator. Which vehicles, what years, transmission types, how many questions? It's very simple. You just go and Google Strawberry Milkshake of Death. That is the title. It's been there for a long time, so just go and read it, tons of details, and all the answers will be there. This goes instead of this. So you see that's inside the radiator. So all you gotta do is bypass this guy and buy one of these for 40 bucks. This would be your new transmission cooler. But why did you keep buying the Nissan? The problem that I see is that there's too many people losing a lot of money on this problem. And that's why I've been saying, let's not buy Nissan so Nissan sees that there's a reason why we are not buying. Don't you just love living in America? Look at this thing, 1965 Le Mans. What do you think when you see this beast driving down the street? don't you feel like American? And don't you think like sexy and you just want to own it? But guess what? If you live here, you can. There is a way. All you got to do is, apply yourself. And yes, you can. You can have one of these. Back in the day, these cars were made very good. So there's something really sad that's happening, especially, me that I'm a mechanic. Poor girl, 3 kids, can't pay her bills at home, just bought, with all the money that she got in the taxes, just got this used Nissan. Arrives with me, and the thing is like, you know what, I just bought this thing and I took it to the shop and they're telling me that my transmission is shot, but I just bought it. The dealer's probably gonna give me a warranty. Well, use this as is, so there's no warranty on that. So my explanation is like all the time, you shouldn't have done this, you have just a piece of trash, you need to get rid of it. Crying happens. Do not buy a used Nissan. My purpose of this is to have the help of everybody that can not buy a Nissan. So Nissan gets the point. They have messed up so many cars, they need to step up. They're the ones that have the money, we don't have it. I mean, we may have it to fix it once, but if it would last, it would be great, but it doesn't last. Sometimes it crosses over the year, which is the warranty. You go to the place that you had it repaired. I'm really sorry, but your warranty expired. So they're not gonna help you. If you bought a used one and it doesn't have any symptoms, then you may be able to rescue the piece of trash that you bought. So you just bypass the transmission cooler. And if you guys remember yesterday, it wasn't yesterday, it was like 2 weeks ago. If you remember this thing, you just have to bypass the transmission cooler. Buy yourself an external transmission cooler, and it's that simple. You remove the hose and you connect the 2 hoses in the new cooler. The cooler goes behind the grill of the car. It is that simple. You also have to change your transmission fluid probably 3 times, maybe once a month, maybe 3 times total, just to get rid of all the possibility of rust that would develop inside the transmission. And after that, you'll probably be okay if nothing happens. What is going on with these Nissan vehicles? So if you bought a new one, you do the same thing. You bypass the transmission cooler and put an external transmission cooler. And that's what you do. Well, that's all I need to tell you for right now. I am going to wax this piece of trash. No, this one is not a piece of trash. And go for a joyride. Okay, see ya. Wait. Oh, I already got dressed up. I gotta get going because she's mad at me. Well, let me tell you the story, but listen till the end of the story so you know that I'm right. So I went out shooting in anniversary day.
What are you doing?
What happened?
It's our anniversary today. Did you forget?
But look, she actually forgot herself. She started shooting. She grabbed an AK-47 and check it out. Oh, you're still not on my side? She points the AK-47 on me. Now that I have you on my side, can you give me a like and a subscription? Thank you. I want to leave you with this last video that I made just for fun. just to clarify, I'm not really a smoker, okay? So I'll leave you with that. It's kind of cool. Okay, so what we're gonna do with this cooler, because it's basically not good to cool anything down, right? It breaks the transmission. Well, here it is, you know, it leaks somewhere. I don't know where, but it does leak. And that gives you a big headache in your Nissan transmission. So I decided to give it a shot and see if I can make it into a pipe. Let's see if it works. Ah, too much wind. Well, it does want to work. It's too windy here. So we're just gonna have to leave it for another day. Forget to buy your cooler.